Hi there everyone, and welcome back to my garden. So I've got a lovely project that I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a plant ladder. Right, so I've had a great idea about this old step ladder which has been in our garage for years. And it's not exactly the shape I thought it was when I got it out, because I thought it was going to be more of an A shape. I'll pull it over here so you can see better, but I thought it was more of an A shape. So I was going to, if you can imagine an A shape one, put some slats of wood across there, and then you lay planks across this way, so it sort of stands out like that, and you put your plants on the planks of wood. But so I'm going to work with what I've got, and my initial instinct was to paint it black, but I've changed my mind because I quite like the patina on it, but I don't like this blue paint and the white paint and the paint on the top. So I think I'll sand that down and then leave it as is. But then I thought, in this little area here, what I have to take into consideration is that garage door opens to here, and this gate opens to about here. So I've only got a little area here. So what I thought was, I'm going to stand it there like that. And then, so you've got to imagine it looking without all of its paint. And then I want to stand my heucheras or my hostas on it. But as you can tell, it's still quite windy, even in this tiny little area. So if I just pop my heucheras on like this, these will be having a shock today because it's freezing. It's 3 degrees Celsius today. Can't believe we're halfway through April. So these have been in the conservatory, so I'm just bringing them out to sort of see what it looks like. So I thought, if I stand my heucheras like that, they're just going to blow straight off. So I've had a brainwave. I've got lots of black pots with holes in the bottom. And I'm just going to, if you can have a look in there, I'm just going to screw through the bottom, and then I'll just drop the heucheras or whichever plant I've got in. So it could be a hosta or anything. So I can't get two large ones on there. So I've got some small ones. So I can have that like that. Then another one there with a heuchera in, and another small pot there. See what I mean about the hostas getting blown off? And then I can just work my way down. So I think that looked really pretty. And then on the very top, as long as it's not too sunny up here, I can put big hostas on the top there. I could get 2 big hostas up here, and then the slugs surely wouldn't be able to get them. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right, so some of the large pots that I've got didn't have a hole in the middle, so I just used a cordless drill and poked a hole through with that. But then I thought, it's so windy in my garden that if I've got one little screw holding that in place on top of that ladder, it might just rip the plastic. So my husband had these little square, I don't know what they are, offcuts or something, they were lying round. So I thought, I've put a screw through a little piece of wood, and then that is going to go through the pot like that. And that piece of wood, if you can have a look in there, can you see in there? That will just hold this pot more securely in place. So I'm going to do that in each pot. See, that's one of the pots just blown off there. Right, so we'll go outside now and I'll show you what I've done with the ladder. So it's really, I've just given it a really light sand to get the worst of the paint off, and I think that looks lovely. That's the look I'm going for. It's a really pretty old ladder. I'm going for a large black round pot and a small square pot on each step. But on the top, I found these black pots and I can get 3 of those on the top. So I've rethought the whole putting the hostas up there because I think they're just going to get too much wind up there. Whereas I can just drop anything in here. I could drop trailing geraniums or anything, or more heucheras. Hi there. So it's a few days later, so I've had to wait until it stops raining to show you the finished thing. But if you have a look in, I've screwed on all of these pots. Yeah. So I've poked a little hole in there already with a brad, which is like a sharp, pointy metal thing. It just makes it easier when you put your plant pot on. So this is the fiddliest bit, really. So you sort of align that up there. So you line it up there, stick the bottom of that screw in there. So that's what it looks like now. Okay, and then you just screw it into place. And obviously this is what I have to do in my garden because there isn't an area of the garden that's really sheltered. It's always windy. That's it. And it just means if the wind now catches that plant pot, it doesn't have that tiny screw holding it in place. It's the wood is going to act as a support as well. So they're all on. I'll give them all a nice wash down. So I'm going to put it into place now and we'll just mess around and try some heucheras, or you could put anything in this. You know, I could put trailing geraniums in, or anyway, we'll have a bit play around with it. So now I'm just going to give all the pots a little clean down. It's probably the only time they'll ever get a wash, because hopefully whatever plant I put in here will spill over the top and you won't see the pot, but you will see the structure that it's standing on. That's it. So I've gathered together all of my heucheras from out of the conservatory and the greenhouse, because I'll put the link, but I split just about every heuchera that I had this year. So these are the parent plants, and then these are the babies. Put them there. So I've got some gorgeous ones, and obviously it's still very early in the year. So this is just going to be a sort, you've got to imagine these, but 3 times bigger, because that's what they'll do. They've got new compost. They're really healthy. It's far too early to put them out up here in the northeast of England yet. Maybe another 3 weeks, we'll get into May. Anywho, so you can see over here how shady this little courtyard area is. So if you were building this structure and it was in a very sunny place, you might want to put your geraniums in or whatever. So we'll just have a bit play around. This one's lovely. This one's called Green Spice. So I'll put the big ones in first. I think that one there is called Plum Pudding. Put that there. That looks nice. Right. Put the green one in the bottom because he doesn't fit there. This one is called Watermelon. Beautiful. You can hardly feel the leaf in your hand. It's like tissue paper. It's beautiful. Put him up there. When I dress this courtyard area, which I'm going to do in the next couple of days, I'll put a video out, and then you'll be able to sort of see sort of these in all their glory. Right, let's have a look. So I haven't actually got a pot of heuchera that I can put on the top there. So you'll just have to imagine another heuchera like this, but on the top. I'll have to go and raid the greenhouse and see if I've got any more. But I think that looks really pretty. And I'll show you what I mean by the amount of space that I have to work with here. So this door into the garden, the gate, comes to here. So you've got to imagine this ladder in context. So I want something tall and narrow there. I use this bamboo. So a bit bamboo there. So yes, you have to sort of imagine these heucheras much fuller than this. But I wanted to show you them early in the year, so that if you do fancy making a plant ladder, you've got time to get whatever plants that you want to display in. Yes, so you have to imagine the top of the ladder there with this sort of even bigger than this, and you won't see any of the black pot. It'll just be a mass of heuchera. Right, I'll go and get a few geraniums and we'll see what it looks like with the geranium in. Right, so similarly, just for the purpose of this video, I've brought out all my beautiful geraniums out of my conservatory. So they'll be freezing. I want to get them back in as quickly as possible, because up in the northeast of England here, it's far too early for me to be putting these geraniums in, which have been overwintered in the conservatory. Maybe 3 more weeks into May. Anyway, we'll pop them in and we'll see what these look like. So you see you've got a garish sort of yellow pot there, but once he's in and filled out, you'll not see him. We'll go for a bit variation in colour. Maybe that one there. Lovely white one. And with the heuchera, if you've got big pots on the top but a smallish plant to put in, you can just put little upturned pots in, and then that sort of elevates the small pot that you've plopped in. Put him in there. Now I've got a trailing geranium here. So I'll put in the description box below, I'll put links to the video where I took all the cuttings off all these geraniums this year. But he is a beautiful sort of magenta coloured trailing geranium. So he should be over this side, but you can imagine that effect. Put a bit of colour in the middle there. Again, this is really just to give you some idea of what it might look like with whatever plant you're wanting to put in. There we go. I'll put him in there, squish him in. These are beautiful. Put him there. Right. So you can imagine that in on a sunny terrace or patio or any place in your garden. I think that looks gorgeous. Right, and a final thought, if you wanted to do it now and none of your plants were ready, you could actually do a spring display. I wish I'd thought of this earlier, because I would have had it, is to sort of arrange it with all spring bulbs. So I've just been around the garden sort of collecting together any display bulbs I've got. Say we'll put him there. some mascari beside him. So I haven't got a great deal of spring bulbs in the small enough pots here. But again, it's just to imagine. That's beautiful. A little garden auricula. But you could have little pots of cowslips or oh, and look at this little, I've just started collecting these this year. He is beautiful. Oh, I love them. Put him in. Actually, I'll put the auriculas on the top. And I'll just fill them out with, that's a foxtail fern. I don't know what that one is. A bit of green foliage in. Maybe put the auriculas on the top there. Maybe have to dot in a few geraniums just to give you the idea. And then something on the top. A bit of foliage there. So I'm sure you could do a much better display than that. Oops. You know, you can imagine if you had pots of, say, tulips or something there. So I'm sure you could do a far better display than this. I've just quickly put this together to sort of give you an idea. But I think it's a perfect solution for me in particular in this, working in this very tight, tiny little courtyard where I haven't got space to sort of spread all my containers out. I do need to go up. And I just think this is a beautiful rustic look. And a great way to sort of elevate all my plants. And while I'm standing here, I'm just thinking I have got a lot of little box hedge about this size. And I was thinking, I could topiary them and have a topiary display. So that would be, I think that would look lovely. So any ideas or suggestions you have, please share with us in the comments. So just before I wrap up, I'm actually filming this on Saturday the 20th of April, so yesterday, and currently I have 960 subscribers, and I'm very excited to reach the 1,000. I don't know why, I think I'll have a party. So it would be amazing if you could just click the subscribe button. I don't usually ask, but I would love to get to that 1,000. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you like the idea, and do come back and watch my other videos. So until next time, happy gardening. Bye.